The forest was silent, except the voice of Olajumoke's soft sob. She knelt on the damp ground, clutching a small veil in one hand and her chest in the other. "I can't go on like this," she whispered, her voice breaking. "They have taken everything from me, my joy, my dignity, my purpose." As she raised the veil to her lips, a firm voice interrupted her. "Olajumoke, stop." She turned to see an old woman stepping out of the shadow, her piercing eyes glowing in the moonlight. "This is not your end," the woman said. "This is your beginning. Stand up. Let me show you the path to your strength." Before we dive into the full story of Olajumoke's struggles, courage, and ultimate redemption, grab your popcorn and settle in. This tale, you won't want to miss it. Let's begin. In a small village named Ede, a young Yoruba lady called Olajumoke, life seems promising when she married Adewale. Their union began with joy, dreams of bright future. However, after 6 years of marriage, the story turned into a nightmare. Olajumoke had given birth to six beautiful daughters, which she considered as a blessing. But Adewale and his family, they were a curse. Ade, his parents hissed, "This woman cannot give you a son. What kind of wife is this? You must marry another woman and send her to her father's house." Adewale, weak to his parents' manipulation, grew colder each day. He restricted Olajumoke from working, stripped her of any financial independence, and brought another woman into their home, a mockery of their marriage. "You are no longer my wife," he said one night. "You can stay, but don't expect love from me." Olajumoke felt her heart shattered. Her family was gone. Her parents had passed out some years back. She had no sibling, no one to turn to. The wall of the house she had once considered her home began to feel like a prison. The thought of committing suicide crossed her mind many times, but each time she looked at her daughters, she found a flicker of hope. She couldn't leave them to face the cruel world alone. One fateful night, when one fateful evening, Olajumoke had wandered into the forest. To escape the torment of her thoughts, she encountered Yaife, the village elder known for her wisdom. "My daughter," the old woman said, as her voice as soothing as a breeze. She encouraged her that "you are not as powerless as you think. Your daughters need you. You are their legacy, the reason to fight. You must rise for them." Yaife handed over a small Bible to her, asking her to fast and pray, and told her that this will give you courage. But remember, courage without action is meaningless. You must first take step. That night, Olajumoke decided to change her destiny. Olajumoke secretly started sewing clothes for the women in the village, using the skills to gain money without Adewale's knowledge, slowly building her savings, hiding them beneath the floorboard of her room. She began teaching her daughters the value of hard work and perseverance, telling them education is the key to freedom. One day, when Adewale discovered her secret, He flew into a rage. "How dare you defy me?" he thundered, throwing the coins to the ground. But Olajumoke, emboldened by her determination, she stood her ground. "I am doing this for my daughters. You have abandoned us, but I will not abandon them. I refuse to live as a shadow in my own life." Her courage silenced Adewale, but it marks a beginning point in their marriage. With no support from him and a desire to give her daughters a better future, Olajumoke packed her belongings and left the house. Olajumoke moving into a neighboring village with her daughters. She started life afresh. She took up a multiple jobs, sewing by day, selling food by night, and cleaning houses in between. The days were long, the nights were sleepless, but she never complained. Her daughter is her motivation. Someday, she would whisper to them before bed, "You will stand tall and proud. This hardship is temporal." Years passed. Her sacrifice began to bear fruit. Her elder daughter, Adeshewa, excelled in school and earned scholarship to study medicine. The second daughter, Yetunde, pursued law in a law school, becoming an advocate for women's rights. The third daughter, Bolanle, discovered her talent in engineering, while the youngest, Morayo, became a celebrated artist, painting stories of resilience and hope inspired by their mother. Meanwhile, Adewale's life shattered downward. The new wife he had brought to his home turned to be a selfish and deceitful woman. She squandered his money. When he had no longer provided for her lavish lifestyle, she abandoned him. His parents, who once pushed him to discard Olajumoke, had passed away, leaving him lonely and bitter. The business he once prided himself failed, leaving him in poverty. Villagers whispered about his downfall, saying, "This is karma for what he had did to Olajumoke." One day, as Adewale wandered through the village, he saw a poster announcing a women's empowerment seminar hosted by Yetunde, the now famous lawyer. The name struck a painful chord. Could this be my daughter? He wondered, creeping into his heart. Despite the past, Olajumoke raised her daughter to forgive but never forget their worth. When Adewale, now a broken man, approached them to apologize, they listened. "I wronged you all," he said, tears streaming down his face. "I now see how much I have lost." Though the wounds were deep, Olajumoke chose not to carry hatred in her heart. "You hurt us, Adewale," she said calmly, "but I thank you for your cruelty forced me to find my strength." Her daughters too forgave him, but they made it clear that their mother was their true hero of their story. In her old age, Olajumoke became a respected figure in the village. Known for her wisdom and kindness, her daughter's successes brought her endless pride. Dr. Adeshewa opened a free clinic in the village. Lawyer Yetunde fought for the rights of women and children. Engineer Bolanle built schools, and artist Morayo inspired generation with her painting. Sitting under the bamboo tree one evening, surrounded by her grandchildren, Olajumoke smiled, her heart filled with contentment. Her struggle had not been in vain. The villagers often said Olajumoke's story is a reminder that even in darkest time, a determined spirit can rise above all. Moral lesson: strength lies within us. When the world seems to conspire against us, Olajumoke's journey teaches us the resilience, courage, and love of our children can transform pain into power. For those who are guilty, selfish, and hated among us, life has a way of delivering lessons they cannot forget. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for watching this story. We appreciate you, and please stay tuned to see my next video. Subscribe for more. Turn on notification bell so you don't miss any of our interesting story. Thank you. Bye.